Very important to get a sense that you are divine. What do I mean by that? To get a sense that you are beautiful, your nature is happiness and bliss. And this is your nature. Your nature is happiness. So just by being still and being what you are naturally happy. You are not the body mind. You are unlimited. You cannot be harmed or affected fundamentally, or in any way actually, by any of life. This means whatever happens in life, you're going to be just fine. Not as the body mind. The body mind's not going to be just fine. Maybe the body mind will be just fine, but eventually it won't. Eventually it's going to die. Eventually it's going to decay and die. But you, as spirit, as that which is divine, are going to be just fine. Because you are not the body mind. Very important to get an intuitive sense of this. You can't get this from a book. You can't get it from a teacher. But what books and teachers and YouTube videos, etc., what they can do, they can prompt you to discover this for yourself. You have to discover it for yourself in your own experience somehow. Find a way. My suggestion is that as long as you're focused on thought and you make a fetish out of thinking, you're going to miss the wisdom. The voiceless voice that says to you in a voiceless way, you are that. I am divine. You are divine. I use the words you are divine to express it. You might prefer a different word or sentence or phrase. Another phrase I used to like to use, sometimes I like to use it still, is children of God. You are a child of God. You are spirit. You are pure potentiality. You are the formless. You are the infinite. You are untouchable. Your nature is grace and happiness and bliss. You get a sense of this. I was saying that often we get a sense of this when our thinking subsides. We get an intuition that life doesn't have to be this way. But this is a distortion of this I am divine through the egoic notion of the body mind. Realize that actually this intuition you're having is true. Life doesn't have to be this way. Now, many people interpret that and try and get a better career, or they'll say, why is my relationship like this? I shouldn't have a relationship like this. My relationship should be much better. My life should be much better. If you're a spiritual seeker, let's say, that's wrong. If you're not a spiritual seeker, there may be sense to that. Or if you've got dysfunctionality in your work or love life or something, there might be sense to that too as well. But essentially, from a spiritual point of view, it's not that life could be better. It's that you could be better. You are not the body mind. You are much more than that. That's the real intuition. That's what that intuition really is. It's like, you are not of this world. You are not a human being. A human being is just an illusory appearance in consciousness. It's not what you actually are. You are not human at all. You are actually one spirit. There is only this one spirit. God, Jesus, Christ, Ramana, Buddha, the one, the nameless, the formless. This is what you are. And through these twin teachings of relaxing the mind, which we call purification, becoming sattvic, which we call purification, stopping the movement in time, desire, aversion, fear, attraction, time-based, memory-based chasing of pleasure, pain. Yeah? That kind of psychological time, as Krishnamurti called it. Not time by the clock. Not like, oh, after satsang is going to be at 10 o'clock. Let me make sure I tune in for after satsang. That's a practical thing. That's time by the clock. That's not a problem. Oh, I've got to meet Sarah and Gordon on this time, on this day. That's not a problem. It's when you're desiring, you're projecting, oh, I'm going to get pleasure, I'm going to get security out of this. I'm afraid of this, I'm worried about this. We come out of this way of thinking, even just for a while, we'll start to intuit this. And then if you challenge the assumption or the assertion or the belief, I'm the body mind, and that's the second aspect of the teaching. In Sanskrit, tat tvam asi. Tat means that, tvam means you or thou, and asi means is or art. Tat tvam asi, that thou art. That thou art. That you are. That is what you are. You are that. You are that. It's called that because that refers to the absolute, the formless. This refers to all the name and form, Maya. You are not this. You are not this. You are not this body mind. You're not this name and form. This world you see is not real. It's not a real. It's an imagined, it's a hallucination. It's a dream. It's an illusion. It's not real. You only think it's real when ignorance is there. You think the body mind's real. You think the world the body mind is in is real. But when you let go of all this stuff, you discover for yourself. You are that. Hasn't got a name, so they just call it that. You are divine. You are spirit. You are Brahman. You are not Jiva. Jiva means the idea that you're the body mind. That is false. You're not the ego. Ego basically means Jiva in this context. Once you have this basic intuition, this can give you spiritual strength to deal with the ups and downs of life. So this is the basis of true spirituality, this deep intuition that we all have. No one can teach you. You have to discover it yourself somehow. Once you discover it and have faith in it and realize that the extraordinary magnitude of this feeling, it may be just the initial feeling, life shouldn't be like this, life could be so much better, but actually it's, I am divine. This body mind has nothing to do with me. It's just a magical appearance. It's not even real. You'll discover it's not even real at all. Your nature is magical, beautiful, sparkling, effervescent, formless, magical. This is what we are. We are spiritual beings. Not even plural. We're not spiritual beings. We're a spiritual being. Again, when the attachment to the body-mind is there, the spiritual teachings are distorted. The more attached you are to being a body-mind, the more the intuition, which is genuine, that we have, is interpreted and distorted by the mind. So you might say we are spiritual beings. Even that's a distortion, because it's still a belief that you are a separate being, or a human being, and so that distortion comes through to the spiritual teaching. It's why only through an egoless vessel, an utterly egoless vessel, does the true teaching come through in its purest form. Otherwise, it will be distorted depending on the degree of attachment to body-mind, which is why you have all these different grades of spirituality. They're all helpful at a certain point in time in the journey, perhaps. But we have Bhagavan, Ramana, who was a perfect vessel. So the teachings are incredibly pure. It's very rare. You'll see how all the other teachings are slightly distorted. They believe the body-mind to be real. Bhagavan knows the body-mind is not real. Even when he spontaneously, effortlessly, without any intention or desire, when he dispenses the lower teachings, there's still a knowledge in him that the body, mind, and world are not real. The whole of his teachings are flavored with realization, liberation, true nature. Even when he dispenses the lower teachings, they are given in a a perfect way that's free of distortion. Very rare. This is why the distorted teachings, they'll be focusing on integrating into the body, integrating into the human experience. These are wonderful teachings, right? They're lovely at the level they're intended, but ultimately, if you're looking for liberation, if you're a true mumukshutva, someone who's got a burning desire for liberation, these teachings will not give you what you need. They will help you feel be happier, be more sattvic, be more integrated, which is wonderful. But they will not liberate. This is why we can be so thankful to Bhagavan for those teachings.